Where were you this morning?
Sorry, late night. I slept through my alarm.
6 o'clock sharp, you know the deal.
Next time!
Get Paula Radcliffe. She does it on purpose. Leaves me standing and then makes a huge deal of running back to check I haven't collapsed.
Very rosy cheek this morning, Doctor.
Wait. She never so much as breaks into a sweat.
So what do you actually want us to do?
Well, now you've decided to grace us with your presence.
We went out last night and she made me drink tequila.
So you usually drink this much in a work night, do you?
I couldn't help it. All I kept on thinking about was Leslie. She has been in a right state, you know.
You better come with me.
Is it absolutely necessary to admit him?
It's only my diabetes playing up again, Doc.
He's only just got off the plane.
Australia, East Coast.
That's where you live, is it?
I lived. My wife died 8 months ago, so I've come home. My kids grew up around here, and my daughter still lives in the house she grew up in.
I'm not happy about this abdominal pain, Mr. Kepler.
Not surprising. 2 days of airline food.
Well, we'll know more once we've managed to take a proper look at what's going on.
I must call my husband. We were due back from the airport over an hour ago. I'll be right back, Dad.
Actually, Doc, there is something I should have told you. The medics, they wanted me to have a few tests before I came over.
What kind of test?
I can't remember, but I'm as fit as a fiddle. There's nothing wrong with me apart from my diabetes. Then halfway across the Pacific, I was in agony.
You didn't mention this to your daughter?
I didn't want to panic her, did I?
I'm going to need the name and number of your doctor.
It's the middle of the night over there.
Please. It would help me considerably.
Oh, it's disgusting. Look at the state of his leg.
It's rather livid, certainly. How long have these ulcers been like this?
A few weeks now. I've tried creams and lotions, but it's just got worse. And it's keeping me up at night, Doctor.
And, have you seen your GP?
I'm not registered. I've not been up here that long.
Have you got any history of diabetes in your family, Paul?
No, not that I know of.
Right, well, I don't like the way that these leg ulcers are developing, so I think it's best if we admit you, OK?
Oh, well, I can only stay this afternoon. I'm working tonight.
Come on, sweetheart. You won't be able to work if you're minus a leg, will you?
Doesn't look like I've got much choice, does it?
Apparently, Mr. Kepler, you were admitted to hospital for a sigmoidoscopy and were also due to undergo a barium enema.
Dad?
Your consultant also mentioned the fact that his team had been trying to contact you urgently for some time.
OK. I know I should have gone back into the hospital. But I couldn't face it after what happened to your mother, love.
Goodness sake, Dad.
I'm going to send you for a couple of blood tests, tests that your own medical team would have run, just to check things out.
Check what out?
They thought there was something wrong with my insides.
Something serious?
I'll know much more when we've run these tests, OK?
You got on that plane. You knew you were ill and you never said a word.
I'm sorry, love.
Feeling better?
If you mean, do I still feel like I'm about to die? Then no.
Then you'll feel ready to take some bloods, then, won't you? Hello, mate.
So, since when did you start cutting student nurses any slack?
Oh, they take a heart of stone not to. Seems their mate's death has just hit them like a ton of bricks.
Which is why you've held back on the fake body parts and the fake blood.
Yeah, well, hardly seemed appropriate under the circumstances, you know.
You're getting soft in your old age.
Yeah, what happens to all of us sooner or later? I presume that's my suit.
You presume, right? How did the interview go yesterday?
Well, it's not exactly a walkover, but I think they were impressed by my ideas. Yeah, quietly confident is how I put it.
Good.
See you later.
See you later, mate.
We'll see you after the scan.
I know you're busy. You get off home, love. I'll be fine.
I'm not going anywhere. Not until we know exactly what we're dealing with. He's always been a stubborn old fool. Proud of the fact he's never had a day's illness in his life.
And he's moved back here permanently?
A cottage next door to us. It's meant to be for my mum and dad. His belongings are halfway around the world on some container or other. The whole thing's been a nightmare.
But he wanted to come home?
Well, since Mum died, I know he's been lonely. The kids hardly know him. He's been away for so long, neither do I.
I'll keep you informed when we've had a look at his results. OK?
Thank you, Doctor.
Hi, do you have a moment? I have a patient with unusual leg ulcers I could do with a sounding board.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, great.
As you can see, he's all clear. There's no periosteal elevation or cortical lucencies. He's been complaining of symptoms for over 21 days. There's no sign of any deep tissue necrosis.
Osteomyelitis would have shown on the bone manner.
You got a weird one there.
Yeah, thanks for that, Vijay.
Any time, Sarah. How about tonight?
In your dreams.
Any blood to beg?
Yeah, he's slightly anemic. His white cell count up and his liver and spleen are enlarged.
I suppose I'd better take a look at him.
So, how are you this morning?
Great.
A lovely meal. I didn't even know that place existed.
We should go there again sometime, if you'd like.
Very much.
You back already?
Hey, we don't mess about, not in this hospital.
Have you seen my daughter? She said she'd be here when I got back from my scan.
Oh, she's probably just popped out to use the phone or something like that. Carrie, would you help Mr. Kepler back into bed, please?
Hey, love.
And I brought you a couple of T-shirts, but with any luck you won't be here so long.
Hello, Paul. I'm Dr. Ormerod. Mind if I take a look at your leg?
Again? The other doctor's already done that.
And she'd like my opinion. Right, there's no evidence of any infection on the bone, but there's something worrying me about your blood tests, so I'd like to take some swabs and tissue samples from the ulcers.
Okay.
Then we'll have a better idea of what we're dealing with.
Do you think it's something really weird, like that flesh-eating bug?
One thing at a time, eh, Cass?
Unlikely. I'll be back as soon as we get your results.
This place is a pigsty. It would really help me if people didn't keep leaving all this rubbish lying around. Since when did we start storing patients' clothes?
Oh, no, that's my suit.
What's it doing stuffed in a plastic bag? And your Paul Smith shirt and your tie?
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd take it to the dry cleaners, that's all.
I need to excise some tissue, so if you could give us a moment, Cassie.
Look after him, won't you?
You can go and get me a few magazines if you want. Something to pass the time. You don't really think it's that flesh-eating thing?
I don't think it's very likely, no.
Only, one of the lads got that in my regiment. He cut his leg and it got him. It just started eating his flesh away. I really couldn't stand that, Doctor.
So you've been in the army?
TA, but not anymore. I've been out a few months, sorted my head out.
Well, that's interesting. Have you ever served overseas?
I was sent to Iraq.
What, it's not down in your notes?
Well, it's not something that you like to broadcast. Plenty of people are against the war, me included now. But I had to go ahead with my posting. And then when my tour came to an end, the stuff I saw really messed with my head. Post-traumatic stuff.
Well, it is certainly something that you should have told us, Paul. Why didn't you?
My girlfriend, she's really political, dead anti the war. If she knew where I'd been, what I'd done, I wouldn't see her for dust. You won't tell her, will you, Doctor?
Well, that is your business. The leg is ours.
Primary tumour there, and you can see the metastatic spread to the lungs and the liver.
You wanted me to take a look at something?
Yes, this patient of mine has disseminated bowel cancer. Had a sigmoidoscopy in Australia, which found a tumour, but he never went back for the results. Now presenting with pain and impending obstruction. The scan suggests that the disease has spread to both the liver and lungs.
Yes, well, we could offer him surgery, but it would be palliative only. And probably some chemo after that, but it doesn't look good, I'm afraid. Poor chap. Looks like his number's up.
You've been around a bit, haven't you?
I'm not sure that's an insult or compliment.
No, I need some advice for these leg ulcers. There's nothing positive back from the lab yet, and the scans don't suggest any deeper infection or necrotizing fasciitis, but we're stumped.
What's the history?
Well, he did mention that he'd served in Iraq with the army, but that was some time ago. I thought, you've travelled around a bit. Maybe he's picked something up out there that you might recognise.
Do you want me to take a look?
If you've got time.
Well, it'll cost you a large vodka and tonic.
Done. Cheap at half the price.
Cancer?
That's what's causing the pain. I'm afraid it's also spread to the liver and lungs. Now, we can sort out the blockage in the bowel, Mr. Kepler, but we can't take away the cancer completely.
Are you sure about that?
If you'd gone back to the hospital in Australia, if you'd actually listened to someone for once in your life...
I'm very sorry.
So how long have I got?
I'll refer you to an oncologist in Ashfordley. She'll be able to give you the bigger picture. It's difficult to say. Every patient's different, but my best guess would be 6 months to a couple of years.
Well, at least I see another Christmas with my family around.
Excuse me.
Facing reality never was my Liz's strong point.
Would you like me to speak to her?
You know something, Doc? I had this feeling all along that it would end like this.
That's why you came back home.
She was her mother's girl. Her mother never took to life down under. Never stopped feeling homesick. And she never made it back home.
And your daughter blames you.
And all they're left with is me. A grumpy old man with a few weeks to live. A burden to them all.
It's okay, John. I'll take it from here. It's okay.
Ulcerated raised red lesions. Yeah, I've seen something like this before when I was working in Brazil. Leishmaniasis.
Leash what?
It's an infestation. Sandflies lay eggs in the skin and the larval stage produces ulcerations. You'll have picked it up from your time in Iraq. The Baghdad boil, they call it. The eggs can lay dormant for some months before they become active.
Iraq? What's she talking about?
Sorry?
What were you doing in Iraq?
Later, okay?
Although it's a very rare condition over here, it is also treatable. Usually with antinominy-based drugs. But the parasite has gained some resistance in that part of the world. I'd start him on amphotericin BIV and see if pharmacy can't get hold of any miltefosine. It's a new treatment, but it might be more effective.
Okay, I'll get onto it. Thank you.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you both.
You were in Iraq. What were you doing there?
Could have told me before I put my foot in it.
Well, you were rather on a roll. Anyway, you saved his leg, so always a trade-off.
It was a large vodka and tonic, wasn't it?
Later, come on.
Not a textbook way to support one's ailing parent.
Oh, there's no such thing.
You led my mother a dog's life, Doctor. She was homesick. All those years they spent out there.
She never thought of coming home.
His job was out there at the university. Marine biology. They always planned on coming home together. That's why they bought the cottage. Their bolt hole, she called it.
But she never made it.
I never got to nurse my mother. But you'll expect me to do it for him. He's such a hard man, Doctor. No emotion. You get nothing from him, nothing.
Perhaps we should look into finding somewhere else for him to stay.
I don't know. I need to discuss this with my husband. What the hell am I going to tell the children?
He knew it was something serious. He wasn't in denial at all. He was hanging on until he got back home, to his family. Let me know if you need to discuss things further. Okay?
You didn't trust me enough to tell me.
I didn't want to risk losing you.
Why would you do that?
Because I know your views. I knew that you wouldn't stick around if you knew that I'd been part of something that you hate so much.
Did you kill anyone? Did you point a gun and pull the trigger? Throw a grenade? Fire a mortar?
I don't want to talk about it. I try not to even think about it. So now you know. The rest's up to you.
I just wish you'd trusted me enough that you confided in me.
Thought they'd be back to me by now.
You can pick your washing up tomorrow. I didn't have time last night.
No, nobody got back to me about last night's gig. I thought
Once they'd heard me, they'd get me, you know.
Well, there'll be plenty more chances.
Plenty more, yeah.
Well, Adam and I, we thought that you were brilliant.
He thinks I'm rubbish.
He doesn't. He's really supportive of you, just like I am. Kieran! Want a word with you? Adam, what's he up to?
Why don't you ask him?
He went missing for hours yesterday. Then his suit turns up stuffed in a plastic bag, and a little bird called a student nurse told me that it was you who delivered it.
He didn't want anyone to know.
Know what? Kieran, if you don't tell me, I will never let you come round to our house and play on his PlayStation again. And our spare room will be out of bounds whenever you've had one too many and the taxi refuses to take you home.
It's like I've been sleeping with the enemy all this time.
He was just scared to tell you the truth.
In case he exposed himself for the hypocrite that he is.
He saw some things over there that changed his opinion about everything he once believed in.
Well, then why did he have to lie to me?
Because he didn't want to risk losing you.
What the hell did he expect? This was bound to come out sooner or later.
Well, how could he know when he went to Iraq exactly what he was getting into? He learned the hard way, and he admits he's a different man.
Do you believe him?
Well, sometimes you have to accept the past is the past. And all you can do is accept the person you know in the present.
I don't blame you, love. I should never have come home. I should have stayed there, sat it out.
I wouldn't have let you do that.
I was never there for you when you were a kid. Too busy working. That's all I ever seemed to do those days. And I end up here. What the hell's been the point of me?
You looked after us all.
I dragged your mother away from her family and friends. Took her to the other side of the world. I miss her every day, love.
I know you do.
I may not have much time left. Please, let me spend it trying to make things up to you. Oh, goodness gracious me. You must be Jessica. Oh.
I love you, Dad. I'll take care of you, whatever happens.
It's the last time I tell Kieran anything.
I can be very persuasive when it suits me. Why didn't you tell me that you'd applied for the job?
Hey, how'd you get on yesterday? Annie in HR just told me you're up for matron.
Ah, is there anyone in the hospital who doesn't know, or is it just women that you live with?
I haven't got the job yet.
Well, there's only one other internal candidate, Ali from paediatrics.
And she can hardly manage to get herself to work on time, never mind an entire hospital. Well, you're bound to get it.
That was when the rot set in with me and the ex. Secrets.
I didn't want to tell anyone until I was sure I got the job, OK?
It's not like you to lack confidence.
Haven't you got anywhere to go, Norman?
Yeah, I was wondering, I've not got anything in for my tea, so...
Yeah. Just come round, but no earlier than 7, OK?
No, what, your big brother's run at ours so often, you might as well move in.
Yeah, I suppose I would be the last to hear about that as well.
Oh, come on. I wanted to surprise you with some good news.
I just wish that you had told me first, that's all.
Come here.
I'll be back in a minute, okay?
I thought I'd seen the last of you.
Well, you thought wrong.
What can I say? I should have told you, but I could never find the right time.
You should.
And then I fell for you. It was too late. And all of a sudden, I just realised that I had too much to lose.
You don't want to lose me, then?
No. But I don't blame you if you walk away. I haven't exactly been honest with you, have I, about my past?
Your past's just that, sweetheart. It's our future that matters to me.
Do you mean that?
I've got too much to lose as well. And everyone said I was wasting my time travelling the world doing voluntary work in all those ghastly places.
But you saved the day.
Yep, we would have been lost without her, and my patient might have lost his leg.
What it would say.
I shall find out when I present him with the case, written up and on his desk first thing tomorrow.
Well, if you're going to hide your light under a bushel, you just make sure that everyone knows exactly which bushel it's hiding under, OK?
Are you coming for a drink?
Or rushing home for a ready meal and a night in front of the TV.
Have you heard anything from Kate?
She doesn't seem to think she should hurry back. Kids are bonding with their parents, apparently.
I'm really sorry, actually. That's none of my business.
I feel so helpless, stuck here on the other side of the country. It's such a mess.
I wish there was something I could do.
I'm sorry.
No, really.
I should get back to the ward.
Jonathan,
Ever wondered how your favourite TV shows make it into your living room? Well, tonight sees the start of Moving Wallpaper. It's the comedy behind the scenes of a brand new soap. And see the soap itself with Jason Donovan and Martine McCutcheon, Echo Beach. It all starts tonight from 9 o'clock.